Hi, I'm Rob.
And I'm Rob.
And this is Ask Rob and Rob.
Welcome to Ask Rob and Rob. It's Tuesday. There are two Robs here. That can only mean that two property questions are about to be answered. We've got a couple of crackers today, so we'll be listening to those in just a sec after a quick recap of how to send in a question of your own.
Yeah, you can leave us a voicemail. You can call in on 013 808 0035, or you can head to propertyhub.net/ask, and you can click a little button and leave a recording that way. Either way, super simple. It must be, because we've done hundreds of these, and this week is no different because we've got two great questions in. The first one coming from Luke.
This is Luke in Manchester. I have to commend you on the quality of the property podcast. I think it's amazing, and it's really inspired me to get started in my investment career. I'm in a situation whereby I'm looking to buy my first place and start a property portfolio at the same time. And I'm wondering if you have any particular information or advice for someone that's looking to do those two things at the same time, particularly with regards to having maybe a two-bedroom flat or house and renting out the other room. Is there any particular mortgage that you need to do that? Are there any other considerations to have in mind? And just generally, do you think that's a good idea? At the moment, I'm probably only going to have the deposit for one property, and I just wanted to know if that was a good use of my money, or whether you would recommend having my own place and then saving up for a separate property in the future to let out. So let me know what you think, and thanks very much. Bye.
Luke, thank you for your question, and it's a good one. So you've got the deposit for one property. Should it be your own home, or should it be an investment property? Well, if you're in the situation where you want to own your own home, then if you can rent out a room and get some income as well, there are some advantages there. So first of all, the mortgage rates on residential properties are lower than for buy-to-let properties. All mortgage rates are pretty low, but residential's even lower, so that would help. Then, of course, if you can buy somewhere bigger than you need and get some income coming in as well, you can either use that to pay down your mortgage more quickly, or more likely to help you save up for a deposit for that first investment property. The other advantage is when you come to get that first investment property, you'll find it easier to get a mortgage for your buy-to-let because you'll already own your own home, and that opens up a lot more lenders to you. With regard to needing a special type of mortgage to rent out a room, if you're going to be living there and effectively having a lodger, most lenders will let you do that. But when you're in the process of getting your mortgage, let your broker know that that's something that you are looking to do, because then they can make sure that they place you with a lender who's going to be okay with that. So there are lots of reasons why that could be a good reason to get started. Lots of people have done it that way. And if you're at that point in life where you want to own your own place, you're pretty settled, and you don't mind living with someone else, it can work well. But you don't have to do it that way. It is possible to buy a buy-to-let before owning your own home. As I've touched on, that does make it more difficult with mortgages. But if having your own home just doesn't make sense for you at the moment, maybe you don't know where you're going to be working in a couple of years' time, then that could make more sense. So a lot of it comes down to personal circumstances, and obviously we don't know enough about your life to tell you what you should be doing in that regard. But the good news is that both ways round can work. There aren't any obstacles that can't be overcome. So you just have to choose which is the most appropriate for you.
So thank you, Luke. Next up, we've got a question in from Sally.
Hi, Rob and Rob. My name's Sally. I'd just like to say a huge thank you for all the content that you put out. You've influenced my life in such a positive way, so thank you for that. I just have a question about stamp duty. So I am changing my house to my residential home to a buy-to-let in order to buy a new house with my partner. The solicitor has said that because I own the other property, the stamp duty will be $2,200. Unfortunately, the mortgage broker has said that actually because I'm changing my residential to a buy-to-let, I still technically own the house, so I'm not selling my residential property. So he reckons that I will have to pay $9,250 in stamp duty. The property that we're buying together with my partner and I is $235,000. I'd just like clarification, really. I'm pretty sure the solicitor's right, and I've got my fingers crossed that she is, because it's less money. But the mortgage broker has caused a bit of confusion. Yeah, I look forward to hearing your response, and once again, thank you so much.
Sally, the good news is I've been in a similar circumstance to yourself, where you're right now, so I can help. The bad news is it's probably not what you want to hear. So here's the shortened version of it. At the moment, you will need to pay the higher amount of stamp duty because it is seen as a second property or a second home, even though you're going to live in it because you're retaining your first property as a buy-to-let. Now, it's not all doom and gloom because I know you kind of made clear that you want to turn it into a buy-to-let, but if you do sell it within the required time frame, then you can get a rebate on that stamp duty and get it back. That's exactly what I did. And I then could go and invest in other buy-to-lets afterwards. And you may want to run the numbers and see if it's worthwhile of going to that effort, particularly if your buy-to-let is cheaper than your residential property. You know, if your residential property is significantly more expensive than your buy-to-let, then that stamp duty might be a bit punchy. So if you sell that buy-to-let, buy another buy-to-let, you might find if you run the numbers, you'll be better off, although obviously there's hassle involved in there. But the good thing about that is it's a buy-to-let that you've gone out and purposely looked for, so hopefully it could be even stronger performer than the one you're keeping hold of. So I appreciate it's not the news you want to hear, but that's exactly what I went through and what I had to do. So bit of a painful one, but if you sell it, at least you'll get that money back.
So thank you, Sally. Thank you, Luke. And thank you, whatever your name is, for listening. We'll be back on Thursday with the Property Podcast. But before then, tomorrow, we have a new YouTube video coming out all about property tax. A video with everything you need to know is dropping tomorrow evening. So make sure you are subscribed to our channel, Property Hub UK on YouTube, so you don't miss that one. Enjoy, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.